Welcome into another video in my series where we're going to be testing out every single weapon in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies to see just how viable they are within your Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. This will include the MW2 weapons, aftermarket parts, and conversion kits. So if you guys are new around here and you like to see how weapons perform in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, make sure you subscribe, turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss any future uploads from myself on Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. As well, down below in the description you will find the link for my stream, and I'd just be absolutely honored if you guys came to hang out. I play a ton of zombie related games on there, so it'd be awesome to see you guys in. Now, for today's video, I've gone back into MW2 weapons and found one that I haven't even used yet. It is the Tempest Torrent marksman rifle inside of MW2. So we're going to be checking that out today, going through all three zones, doing bounties, completing contracts, all the way through. So hopefully by the end of today's video, you'll be able to see if the Tempest Torrent marksman rifle from MW2 is a viable weapon for you with inside your Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. Without further ado, let's get to the Tempest Torrent video today. Alright, so welcome in to the Marksman Rifle Tempest Torrent review video for MW2 inside of your Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. We're going to take a look at it here. We have the brand new Vortex Event camo on there. I think that looks absolutely amazing, and I love the fact that it's animated, so we're definitely going to be keeping that on for today's run. Now, when we spawn in doing these weapon review videos, always, we spawn in with just our perks and no additions to the weapon. So I did have a couple extras today. We've got mags of holding to test out later in the video, so make sure you stick through for that. I brought in golden armor plates and my aether blade today as well. So we're fully loaded with extras, which is nice. So we spawned in and picked off our very first bounty of the day, which was a mimic, and we spawned into tier 1 to start the fight with the mimic. And I could already tell with this Tempest Torrent that the critical damage was just remarkable when you're able to hit the critical shots. There was an absolutely enormous amount of zombies around in tier 1, which was rather strange. I hadn't seen that many zombies in tier 1 in a while. But we were taking out the mimic, and I could already tell like this was going to be a very interesting weapon to test out today because of the critical damage I was seeing just at white rarity. Now, I do want to comment something strange. When I first went to do the weapon build in the gunsmith there, when I went into the firing range, there was a fully automatic option, and then when I went to record the video, that option had disappeared. So I am unsure of whether or not you can switch this to automatic or not. I feel like you can, as there's a 50-round drum attachment for it. So we've finished off that mimic there. You could see the next thing to do was head off to Pack-a-Punch, melee the Pack-a-Punch machine to keep that animated camo on there, and then pick up another bounty in tier 1 now that we are pack 1, just white rarity. So again, nothing extra to the weapon besides pack 1. And I wanted to see, you know, what can this do inside a tier 1 with a bounty? White rarity, just Pack-a-Punch on the weapon, and holy smokes. I feel like if you guys have a much faster trigger finger than me, because mine's horrible, that you guys would be absolutely able to destroy and just shred everything of this weapon. I mean, like, the strength of the Tempest Torrent on critical shots is truly awesome. So I wanted to go and get Legendary and Napalm now, grab another bounty inside of tier 1, and see what this can do. With a bounty in tier 1, you know, Legendary, Napalm Burst, and Pack-a-Punch inside tier 1, and it should be almost an instant delete for this contract if I'm correct. And boy was I right. I mean, that mimic had no chance at all. I think it was 4 bullets and that mimic was gone. We got a Napalm Burst and the Napalm Burst schematic, which was nice. Unfortunately, again, I was unable to find a player to hand off the schematic to, so that was a bit of a shame, but you know, it is what it is. So it's time to head off to tier 2 and grab a bounty. We're pack 1, we're legendary, and we have Napalm Burst. We got a mimic in tier 2, and you can see just how strong the critical damage is on this Tempest Torrent inside of a tier 2 bounty, just single pack. So this is something that you guys can definitely run inside of tier 2. Just pack 1, either legendary or epic, and you will be just fine. You can see I was able to strong arm that mimic there down and finish off that bounty contract, which was awesome. We got a tombstone perk out of the deal, which I needed. So then it was time to head off to Pack-a-Punch and get the Tempest Torrent to pack 2 legendary with napalm burst. And I tell you, Pack-a-Punch today, holy smokes, was it busy. There was a crowd here today. I showed up and it seemed like everybody was trying to Pack-a-Punch at the exact same time. I even got run over while I was looking at my map trying to find the next bounty contract for us. So definitely a busy place, Pack-a-Punch today. We got our second bounty in tier 2 picked up, and we have a disciple to deal with today. And I wanted to show you guys a disciple. I was kind of happy to get one because the Tempest Torrent is really strong. I wanted to show you just the critical damage you can do to disciples inside of tier 2. Double Pack-a-Punch with legendary, and this definitely will shred the disciples for sure, which can be, as you've been if you've been following along the series, that disciples are definitely the most annoying contract I feel that is in the game. I won't say the most difficult, just the most annoying, with their movement and ability to strengthen the zombies around them and then drain your health and heal themselves. So make sure you're shooting the hand when he's draining your health. That'll stop him from doing that, and then go straight for the critical hits and you'll be fine. So we finished that off, not much in the way for loot. So the next thing for us to do was to head off into tier 3, and we needed to grab the rest of our perks because I want to go and do that. It's always the first stop when I go into tier 3. So before we head off into there, I wanted to make sure we get pack 3 on the Tempest Torrent. So we used the crystal I brought in for that, and then we flew into tier 3, grabbed the rest of our perks from the perk machine, and then it was time to go and help a player that had been pleading for help for about 10 minutes in game time in the match, and nobody was going to go help them. So I said I would go over and give them a hand, get them back on their feet so they can get back to whatever they were doing. I know that sucks. It really doesn't feel good when you're asking for help and nobody shows up. So I was happy to help him up, get him back on his feet, and get him going. Now, I wanted to show you guys some crowd control inside of tier 3 with a legendary triple pack napalm burst Tempest Torrent, and you can see just how well it handles the zombies. Also, you can see on screen why I absolutely love using Energy Mine to deal with crowd control inside of tier 3. It just takes out so many zombies. It's absolutely amazing. Now, you can see crowd control inside of tier 3 is definitely viable with the Tempest Torrent. You can see the damage I'm able to do to the zombies over there. It was truly awesome. And now they're coming at me. You've got all your zombies, your armored zombies, sprinter zombies, dogs, and definitely not a problem with the crowd control with this Tempest Torrent. I don't have the fastest trigger finger, so I feel like if you guys have a really quick trigger finger, this is going to be a weapon you guys are thoroughly going to enjoy. Definitely one that can be viable inside of tier 3. We found a Mega Abomination here. I did have a team in the area, so it wasn't just myself able to take down the Mega Abomination, but for the most part, they did kind of just leave it for me to deal with. And you can see the critical damage on the Tempest Torrent does when the Mega Abomination is firing up his laser attacks is truly awesome. Like, you can see just how fast we were able to destroy one of the heads right there on the Mega Abomination. So this is definitely something that was viable. It was definitely something that thoroughly surprised me today doing this run. Like, I was not expecting this weapon to be as viable as it is. So it definitely is awesome to see that we have yet another weapon that we can add to our arsenal of viable weapons to use inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, which is awesome for me. Personally, I don't like being stuck to one different weapon. I love trying out different types of weapons inside of the game and see which one's stronger. You can see right there with the laser attack and the Tempest Torrent triple pack with napalm and legendary. Easy work in the Mega Abomination for sure. So next thing to do is to go grab a bounty, and hopefully we can get a bounty contract that's a Mega Abomination, so I can show you the difference between, you know, a standard Mega Abomination without Megs of Holding and then a bounty contract Mega Abomination without Megs of Holding, so that you guys can really see the difference between, you know, the strength of the two bounty contracts, the two HVTs, and just what the difference the Tempest Torrent can do. Now, it is a marksman rifle, so I wanted to test and see how this weapon performs at range on one of the bounty contracts, because it is a marksman rifle. So ideally, this weapon is designed for longer ranges and not necessarily up close attacks. But you can see, like, when you're able to hit the critical shots on the Mega Abomination, even from range, this Tempest Torrent definitely does some awesome damage. Now, I did notice during this Mega Abomination bounty contract fight that there was definitely something strange up with his health bar. As you can see here, we were getting him down, but he was already further down when I was on the previous house roof, so I'm not sure what was going on here. And you can see as I'm shooting his laser attacks here, he's definitely, like, the health bar doesn't seem to be moving as much as I feel like it actually was getting damaged, if that makes sense. And there you can see his health bar went right back up to full after I cracked one of the heads. So I at this point, I didn't even know, like, just how much health this Mega Abomination bounty contract had actually left in him, but you can see the health bar going down just as I'm lasering him right there with his laser attack. And that was truly awesome to see. Like, I was feeling really confident with this weapon again. My hold back and withdraw with this weapon is it is single fire, even though when I went to build the weapon in the firing range, I was able to make it automatic. So I don't know if that's something that's in the firing range or if it was just bugged, because when I went in the second time to build the weapon in the firing range, the option to make it fully automatic was no longer there. So I honestly don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you guys are able to get this to be fully automatic or not. I'm very curious to find out if it was a bug in my game or something that's going on. We got a self-revive and an epic tool out of that Mega Abomination loot. So I wanted to make sure I grabbed both of those and took those out. And it's definitely nice to have the self-revives while running around in Tier 3, and the epic tools are something I love to use to test weapons before I bring them in for video using my legendary tools. So now it's time to throw on Mags of Holding and see what we can do with crowd control with the Tempest Torrent inside of Tier 3. And in this location I found, for some strange reason, the zombies will just glitch out here by the tree and just kind of run back and forth. They don't attack me. It was very strange, but it was an awesome opportunity to show you guys the carnage that the Tempest Torrent can do with Mags of Holding inside of Tier 3, you know, for crowd control. So again, you can see very strong. The Tempest Torrent is definitely able to handle the crowd control inside of Tier 3. So the last thing I wanted to try and do is get you guys another bounty contract inside Tier 3. That was a Mega Abomination, so that I could use the Mags of Holding on this and show you guys just, you know, the difference between a bounty contract without Mags of Holding and a bounty contract with Mags of Holding. Now, I was not able to complete this contract by myself, as there was a team nearby, and my Mega Abomination decided to go and engage with them at one point, and they had a sentry circuit turret operating, so they actually finished off the Mega Abomination for me, or helped me along the way. I wasn't quite sure. You can see at the end just how close it was for me finishing him off versus the turret. Now you can see I got on the roof and he was doing up his laser attacks here, and you can see the critical damage is just absolutely awesome with this Tempest Torrent for sure. So again, we're engaging from the roof. I didn't have any of the zombies coming up here, which was awesome. So I was able to concentrate my fire on the Mega Abomination bounty contract, and you can see his health is just dropping down. This is where the other team got his attention and pulled him over, and you can see they've got the circuit turret going. So they finished him up pretty quick for me here, but I was still able, as you can see from range, get those laser attack critical shots in, which is truly awesome. Like, that is just amazing. And then just to keep firing away, and we managed to finish off our Mega Abomination bounty contract with Mags of Holding right there. And then the reward rift popped up on top of the gas station, which is kind of weird. I've noticed that the reward rifts inside of Tier 3 are spawning where you are. And for you fans of Zhorde, the Guardian of the Arches, unfortunately, he had taken today off. He did not exist, so we couldn't do that. It was time to exfil and get the heck out of Dodge, continue pushing up our containment level, and making Chong a happy camper. Now at the end of the video, like I always do, we have the weapon build for the Tempest Torrent that I ran today. So let's work together down in the comments and come up with an absolutely amazing weapon build for us all to use inside of our Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.